Waking life is a fragile balance. The light burns, the darkness drowns. You keep to the narrow road between. But what of power? Power in hope. Power in rage. Power beyond your dreams and fears. It was always there, buried in your shadow. When nightmares reign and the world chokes in its sleep, this power corrupts, consumes, contorts. Embrace it, wield it, or fight it. May you wake to find your choice was wise.
Hello everyone, welcome to Talking Trailers, where we give our thoughts on some of the newest and hottest video game trailers on the internet, and maybe help you find a new favorite as well. My name is Jason Winter, and today I'm joined by Mr. Wilfredo Rivera for a second time. How you doing, sir?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. It's Friday, right?
It's Friday.
Friday.
Thank God.
Who knows when you're watching this, but it's Friday for us at least. We've invented
Yeah.
time travel, something like that. All right, so the first trailer we saw as we came in was for Koshmar, The Last Reverie by Purple Ray Studio. And usually the way it goes when I'm trying to pick stuff for the show is I'll watch trailers and I'll think, oh, this one looks neat. Let me look a little more into the game, see if I can find out if I want to talk about it, if it's got some cool elements or whatever. But every now and then I just see something and I go, that's an awesome trailer. I'm including it even if the game is garbage. Even if everything else I learned about is bad. I just love watching that trailer. And this was the first part. It looked great. I'm not going to say it's garbage. I don't know about it yet. It's not going to be out for a while. It doesn't even have a date yet. I've heard some sources say maybe this year, but who knows? Could be this year, next year, whatever. But yeah, just watching it looks amazing. Even if you don't know a whole lot about the game quality, it's going to be, a lot of things you expect, a lot of dynamic movement and combat, an alignment system and skill trees. But I just love the style and the ambiance of it. And obviously, it feels like it's a little inspired by a certain show. Like, if they were going to release the game, they should release it on a Wednesday, maybe, to be about accurate. But yeah,
Maybe.
It's a new studio from Poland, so maybe they can do it. We've had some games recently on the show that have not fared so well, that have been from newer companies that, again, looked cool, but is maybe not turned out that great when they came to launch. That Samson game we released or reshowed a few weeks back was one of those, so I don't know. It's got potential. I hate using that word, but at least by the look of it, I think it's got potential. What do you think, Wilfredo?
It immediately gave me American McGee, Alice in Wonderland vibes.
Yeah.
But also, I was watching the trailer and saw some of the comments. Somebody said, "Oh, they finally gave Jinx her own game." So
it's like a combination of Wednesday and Jinx, kind of.
Yeah. It's a weird combo, but it looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
The gameplay looks very solid, very fast paced, super stylized. I'm digging this. I really want to see more. I want to get to know more about more of the game mechanics and gameplay elements. This looks amazing. I have to admit, especially if this is like one of the first big outings for this company.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see more.
Yeah,
I really want to see more. My interest is piqued.
Yeah, it's also got an alignment system where you can decide, I guess, how much you want to give into the darkness, how much you want to use their powers, and so on. Hopefully, some decisions along the way, like, do I let this thing live or do I just, suck its soul out?
Right. It kind of gives you, harkens back almost to Fable, where your decisions will ultimately change the way how you look. So I love that idea because decisions in games like that really catch my eye. And it's like, ooh, I wonder how far I can go before I finally break the limit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, just to keep an eye on this one and see how it comes along. Hopefully it'll be a winner whenever it comes out. So from that, we're going on to Nova Roma, which is a city builder. We love city builders, right? Well, hopefully we'll love this one. Let's take a look. So that was Nova Roma from developer Lion Shield and publisher Hooded Horse, which has made a lot of games that I love. Manor Lords, Against the Storm, games like that. It's kind of their forte to do the sort of simulation city builder type thing. Even so, there's been so many lately that I first looked at this and I thought, well, it's another city builder. Okay, it's an ancient Rome. That's neat and all, but there's that Ubisoft game, Anno 117, came out a little while back. That didn't exactly hit the mark for the most part, it seems like. And this one's not as pretty as that. Doesn't have that going for it, but I'll take a look at it. Now, it actually launched in early access about 2 weeks ago. So I looked at the Steam page and I was like, oh, overwhelmingly positive, 95%. Maybe there's something to this after all. So looks like it's got all the usual city building stuff, but also warfare, gods, even controlling the flow of water is a big deal in this. You want to put it in the right places so it doesn't flood your town, I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Wilfredo?
So city builders aren't usually my forte. Some of them I will play. I used to play Age of Empires for a while. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Civ. I was a big Civ 5 guy.
Oh, sure. Who wasn't?
A good long time. This feels different because unlike other city builders where it's like, okay, here's a plot that we're going to put this thing on. You're actually putting individual buildings in places. So you are literally designing the city as you go. Mm-hmm. That's something I don't see in many other games. The flow of water gives you a sense of stylizing, right? It gives you the sense of, oh, here's this magnificent villa that maybe this aristocrat owns, and they wanted the water diverted over here so they can have this beautiful waterfall. Or maybe you want to set up for a reservoir so you know where your water is always coming from. Also adding in the battle elements, which gives it another degree of tension when you don't know who's coming across the seas to come try and conquer Rome. I will admit, not always the game that I would lean towards, but this one is very interesting. It may not look very flashy, and a lot of these games usually don't. But this looks compelling enough for me to at least keep an eye on. Don't know if I'll actually give it a shot until I see something that really stands out. But it doesn't look bad.
Well, it's still in early access, so whatever kinks they have, they should be able to iron out over the course of however long it's going to be. I think it's not that expensive either. Let's just take a quick look. It is, $30. All right, that's pretty typical for an early access title, I guess. So yeah, it's definitely a thing to keep an eye on, I guess. Like I said, I've just been kind of meh about city builders lately, but the reviews and the fact that it's from Hooded Horse really give me a more of a reason to want to check it out. So maybe you will too.
Hopefully.
Okay. Well, next up we've got an update for No Man's Sky, which just came out this week, and it's called Xeno Arena.
Introducing No Man's Sky, Xeno Arena. Find, train, and battle your pets for the ultimate rewards. Assemble your team. And discover new Xeno species with rare abilities. Complete your pet log. Genetically modify your eggs. And battle with friends. Together, your bond can overcome anything. take on daily challenges in the arena. Journey across the galaxy and face new competitors. Battle together and reach for the stars in Xeno Arena. The No Man's Sky journey continues.
Alright, that was a trailer for No Man's Sky Xeno Arena, which just came out this last week, and I promise you it is not an April Fool's joke. That's what a lot of people were saying in the comments to this, but I mean, it's basically Pokemon battles, right? We're all familiar with how these go, right? It's real. I even played it last night a little bit, because I'm just going to try it out just for a little while to be like, play for like half an hour, 45 minutes, just mess around with it, see what the system is like. And I had something else to do a little later, and I was like, damn, I want to keep doing this. Like, I want to keep playing it. I got so addicted to it already. It's a simple formula. I mean, it's got all the stuff you'd expect. You know, you've got like, you go, you know, if you play No Man's Sky, you know, you can go on planets, you can tame creatures or whatever. Add them to your menagerie. But pretty much all they did was follow you around. You get a few resources from them. That was all. Now you go out, you get these, take them to the battle arenas on the various stations or whatever. And they have various traits, you know, fire, ice, poison, so on, that sort of thing. Weak against some things, strong against the others. They all have a bunch of different attacks too. They got like, I think 5 attacks with everything that I had, each of the ones that I had. You can take on the AI. Apparently you can take on other players. I wasn't brave enough to try that. I just did some battles against AI. But yeah, they put a lot of thought in this, even if it is a little derivative, to be honest. If you look at the patch notes, they just scroll on forever with all the stuff they have. Like, you can just read them for like half an hour almost right by themselves. So a lot of work going into this, a lot of interesting mechanics in there as well. So I don't know. What do you think?
See, here's my thing. I thoroughly enjoy No Man's Sky.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to, if players haven't tried this game out before, they're probably going to want to try it now. This is a good way to sink in some new players, because some players out there, they don't want to explore every, you know, planet, the trillions that are out there.
Sure.
They just kind of want to hang around in a small system, collect some pets, build a spot, and then go battle these pets from station to station. Like, this is a new way to play the game. I swear, Hello Games is trying to out Fortnite with every new update. And they're doing the same thing. Free updates. Here's a new update. Play it. So, credit where credit is due. If they found something that they know is marketable, they know is going to work, why not? Even I'm gonna try it out probably later on the night, just so I can see how it feels. Because if it feels like Pokemon Red and Blue, yeah, I might be stuck here for a while.
Oh, it feels great. I'll just say from a little bit that I played, it feels great. I want to go back in and play more. I'm just worried about how much it's going to suck up all my time.
Yes,
like so many
the
other things
answer.
to do.
Yes.
Yeah, but like you said, it's amazing how they get all these done, like basically in secret. I mean, nobody saw this coming. You know, a lot of other companies will have leaks or data mines or whatever, so you hear about, or at the very least, the companies themselves will say, you know, here's 2 weeks out, we're going to do the new update. They just drop stuff. Like, it's just bam, here it is. It's ready to go. It's out. I'm really amazed that they can do a development cycle like that.
Well, I mean, I think it's very much in the mindset of like, hey, shadow drops are awesome because no one's expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting Voyagers. That dropped, and I was like, oh, well, this is new, and now I can build my own ship.
Mm-hmm.
Great. This is something I wanted for ages out of this game. It just popped up. So if they continue this track record, people are never going to know what's coming next. So even when like Light No Fire comes out, they might add something like this somewhere in there. I mean, you might as well. You have the systems already. Do it.
Yeah. It's amazing to think that 10 years ago we all hated No Man's Sky.
Oh, it was a terrible launch.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like an extremely beloved game.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If only every game could follow that pattern.
Fallout. Fallout.
Anyway, moving on from pet battles to typewriter battles. This is a trailer for Final Sentence.
Dear contestants, prepare yourselves for the ultimate trial in Final Sentence.
Where's the question mark? Sir, put that gun down! We good. Oh my God!
You have won.
dying before me? What? That was a comma!
The round begins in 3, 2, 1.
A battle royale typing game. Sign me up. You had me at hello. This is like if Squid Game had existed in the 1930s. Yeah, Wilfredo's just shaking his head now. He's like, what a dork. What a bleeping dork.
Oh, man.
No, you go ahead then. I'm going to let you tell me the great things about this guy. I'm going to sit back and let you...
Okay. First off, this is a ridiculous concept. It kind of reminded me of the Texorcist, but knowing that it's, a battle royale, where you can play either solo or you can play against people, that this is a game where if you mess up, your character gets blown away. This is wild. When I first saw this, I was like, this is going to give a lot of people typing anxiety. And I know for a fact, if I start typing fast enough, I'm going to flub all the time. I'm never going to win this game. I want to play it, but I'm never going to win this game. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a great concept. Looks like they have really solid execution. A lot of different options too, so it's not just I think it's 40 players per round.
Yep.
Like I said, you mentioned solo, you mentioned it's the AI, that sort of thing. But what I'm seeing in a lot of the reviews, there are some flaws. If you think about it, it makes sense that a game like this would have that. The biggest one being, now you talked about if I get in the lead, I'm going to screw up. Yeah, maybe you will, but so will the other people probably. And that's one thing they're talking about is that there's no catch-up mechanic. Like I type around 90 words a minute, so if someone else is at 70, I'm just going to outpace them probably. They say like if you get like a paragraph behind, you just never catch up. So, and that makes sense because if you think about a battle royale, or even a game like Mario Kart, there's a catch-up mechanic. If you're in last place, they give you the blue shells or whatever, so you can have a chance of catching up. Whereas this is so completely skill-based. It's not like the random possibility of getting a headshot or finding a good weapon like you would in a battle royale. So I can see how that would be a problem, but you don't want to introduce too many random elements because, it should be skill-based. So I don't know. I could see issues for and against that kind of approach.
Right. I saw that in the trailer, it seems like there's a cylinder where you can choose how many rounds are in your cylinder. And that means you also can have a weird game of Russian roulette. So you could have, in a 6 cylinder, only 4 rounds, which means you don't know which one is going to pop off. So you might actually survive after making a mistake or 2 if you're lucky. But after that, don't make any more mistakes.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be enough to make it not too routine and not too... there's always going to be some... People hate randomness in games, but they always kind of need them a little bit. It's kind of a weird oxymoron, so...
Mm-hmm. It's a paradox.
Paradox, there we go. It's not a paradox game.
That while playing this.
All right, we got one more trailer to show you to talk about afterwards, and that is for Alabaster Dawn. Let's take a look. Okay, that was the trailer for Alabaster Dawn. And, first of all, I'm not usually into like retro RPGs because, don't quote the ancient magic to me. I was there when I was born and all that because I grew up with games like this in the 80s and 90s. I want my 3D worlds. I want my fancy graphics and whatever and so on and so forth. My graphic sex scenes probably, but anyway. Sorry, I've been playing too much Baldur's Gate lately.
Clearly.
But if you're going to make a game like that, if you're going to make a retro game and have it appeal to a modern audience, you got to put in some more modern mechanics and modern feeling stuff to it. And this trailer shows me exactly that. I love how the combat looks, how dynamic it is, all the movement, which is, frantic enough, but not Not too crazy, not like like Hades or something like that, which has always been a little too fast paced for me. It's got some dashes, some puzzles that have movement powers and whatnot. I like how you're rebuilding the world, which is another kind of thing you see in a lot of games these days. So a lot of exploration as well. This could be just the sort of thing that would get me to try this kind of game. Also, it's from the makers of CrossCode, which was a very popular retro RPG. It came out about like 7 or 8 years ago. So yeah, this has a lot of elements that I think could appeal to a wide audience. How does it look like to you?
Honestly, it catches my eye. So I've always had a thing for retro style games, whether they're 2D, 5D, 3D. If it's got that retro pixel art kind of look to it, I'm usually immediately focused at it.
Okay.
The combat in this game looks very smooth, really polished.
Yeah.
And that's credit to the developers behind it, because it feels like it kind of feels like if you were playing Star Ocean, but it's just open to combat instead of it just being like segmented battles. This looks really appealing. And as of recently, I've kind of fallen back on ARPGs, primarily because of Diablo. But for the most part, this one's kind of got my interest. I kind of really want to play this game.
Okay.
Like, this looks really fun.
Yeah, well, you'll get your chance soon. May 7th is when it comes out in early access. And hopefully you and everyone else who wants to try it will give it a shot. I'll think about it. Again, I still got that kind of that retro, that RPG, retro disdain a little bit, but with something like this, I want to see what the reviews are like too. If it can follow up on how CrossCode did, at least get a pretty good review score, I think it'll be something I take a look at finally.
Makes sense.
All right. Well, that's our show for today. Wilfredo, glad to have you back, and hope it was good for you as it was for me, which sounds kind of weird.
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you. Not the weirdest thing I said today, but
No, it's not.
all right. I hope everyone else out there enjoyed the show. Give me a like and subscribe so you'll always know when a future show is posted. And you can find our socials on the screen right now if you'd like to check out our other various and sundry activities. Although, based on how I've been talking today, I wouldn't blame you if you never wanted to see me again. Before we head out, though, we've got one more trailer to show you. I'm just going right into my outro now. Don't want to say anything else weird. Just moving right on. Let me read my script here. It's the follow-up to I can't read my script properly. It's the follow-up title to Klee Entertainment's wildly popular survival game, Don't Starve. It is unsurprisingly called Don't Starve Elsewhere. It was just announced this week, and from the trailer you can see a bunch of new elements and mechanics. I won't go into them, I'll just run it and let you see for yourself. That's how it sounds when I don't try to put any emotion into my reading. So, yeah, I'll never do that again, I promise. Well, hopefully this hasn't dissuaded you from showing up for the next show, which will be probably in a couple weeks. I'll be away next week. But until then, stay safe and play hard. Have a good one.